son of a bitch. This one's ready. Don't lick wood. It does not taste good. So we are doing a simple pine board today. Simple scrap piece of wood that I had left over. Still trying to get rid of all this damn wood that I have in the house. So put everything through the planer before we glued it all up. Had to learn the hard way in a couple of videos back that if you don't have everything level when you glue it, it will not stay attached when it's on the lathe. So we took this simple piece of pine board, real light wood, glued it up all real nice. Just remember, don't be stingy with your glue. Use a lot of glue because it will fall apart. So after we got everything plain, we glued everything up, and you really need to invest in some brushes, which I should have done. It makes everything way easier that way. So we got everything glued up, and you can see there's that old tannin that I had on there. Took a simple Tupperware bowl, put that as my kind of guide to how big this bowl was going to be. Drew a circle on it. By the way, the tannin stuck together with super glue. It actually will work. This is hey, spoiler alert, nothing went wrong in this project, which was amazing because the previous two projects have kind of been a pain in the ass. So once we got everything glued up, 24 hours later, came back with the jigsaw and cut everything. And the blade wasn't big enough to cut through all the planks of wood, but I was like, yeah, you know what, I haven't used this tool in a long time. Might as well get its money worth. You can see here in a little bit, I'm about to have to break out the Sawzall. Here it is, boom. I need a new blade for that damn thing, by the way. Need to really invest in some new blades for that. But got it cut down, glued up. It's all attached. Now we're just getting rid of all the materials so we don't have to work that all off on the lathe. It goes way smoother when you kind of have a general idea of what, size object you want to work with. So we cut down all that debris, all that material, try to get as much off of it as humanly possible. And that's what we were left with. And then we put it on the lathe. So I use the tannin and the chuck jaws, and I still have the tailstock attached to the end, and I'm basically learning that the more stabilization that I have on it, the easier the wood is to work with. Because when I would just leave it in the chuck jaws without the tailstock attached to it, I learned that it would just wobble more. So this actually is stabilizing it a lot more, making it a way easier project when you start working with the chisels. And everything's working out smooth. You can see there that there's a little bit of chipping, so I just went back and just did some refine work with it. Just real easy project. And by the way, the garage smells great. If you've never smelled pine, it smells delicious, by the way. Pine is probably one of my favorite woods to work with. It's soft and it's really easy to work with, unlike the previous two projects. So we got it all smoothed out the way we wanted, just doing some fine detail work there, getting out all the rough edges, and it's smooth, and I'm really happy. So then, boom, now the hard part, taking the tannin. So we're just gouging out the back, and I'm really expecting it to really fall apart at this point, but it was going really well. It's kind of one of those projects where you expect things to go horribly wrong, and then you're just waiting for the other foot to drop. Surprisingly, in this project, everything went really, really smooth. And I think it was just because I took my time and I learned so much from the previous two bowls that I made that I was like, look, this is just an easy, simple wooden bowl, nothing too hard to figure out. So once I had the tannin, I already reversed it on the chuck jaws, and I was like, you know what, I could go back and work with the wood, but I learned, take your time. I'm still using the tailstock as a guide and as reinforcement to really sculpt out what I wanted the bowl to be. So once I was happy with the form that I was in, I pretty much then went back, and instead of taking the Sawzall and trying to saw off this damn thing, I was like, let's just gouge it out, get around it. It's like working around the problem, taking your time, thinking things out methodically, going back and taking your time. And I just took some tools and gouged out the middle of it enough to where I could get to it, work from it on the side, and then here in a second, here it comes, boop, popped off the tannin. So we can go back and reuse that, and now we can gouge out the middle of the bowl, and it's going smooth, gouging it out real nice, real simple type of bowl project. So it's coming out. Look at all the good material we're getting out of there, by the way. I was really happy the way this turned out. Simple project. And there I am just getting a feel, because now that like the tannins in the middle, you can see the glue ring in the center. I got to that point and I was kind of scared to be like, do I need to go deeper? Can I go deeper? I finally ended up taking it off the lathe and gauging that I could totally take it a little bit deeper to get rid of that ring, because that glue ring looked really tacky. But I went back and took it off with a gouge, just working some finer detail, working on the sides of the lip of the bowl. But here we are. And somebody had asked me about, how you get the good shine in the bowls, and it's all about the sanding. So I went from 180 to 220 to 320, all the way up to 800, 1000, 1500, 2000. Lots of sanding. That is the key to a good shine. And there's that wood wax that I use on all of my projects. Don't use anything else other than this. I find this to be just as effective. I know other woodworkers will use other stuff, but that's what I use, and it was a really good project. Really love the way this turned out. Really happy. No complaints. And the garage smelled delicious. And just one more coat. Really happy. It didn't explode. Okay, so finally had a bowl project that didn't have a catastrophic failure. Basic pine board bowl. Awesome. Here is the finished submission for your review. Looks really, you know what, when I'm filming this, I don't see the washout, but it's like white. So it's like there's a lot of washout. You can't really tell the detail. Let's see, there you go. Maybe that's a little bit better. It looks really cool. You got some pretty good grain on it. I just wanted to make a small, simple bowl that didn't explode, fly off the lathe, cause me a lot of headaches. And this one definitely was a keeper. You can see that nice knot in it. So, still got a bunch of scrap wood left, trying to get rid of it before summer, because all these little bugs and critters are going to get in it. But overall, really happy the way it turned out. Really shallow. A little bit smaller than some of the other bowls that we do on this channel, but overall really happy with it. And like I said, really cool. So you can take a simple pine board, stack it, glue it, and get a really cool bowl out of it. And look at that, the tannin didn't explode. Really good project. So doing better, learning every time. Really took my time, didn't angrily do anything in this project. So overall, really happy. So hope you liked it. Basic Sunday project. Don't forget to subscribe, share it, like it, all that good stuff. Helps the YouTube algorithm. At least that's what they tell me. I don't know. But anyway, hope you liked it. Simple wood bowl, basic. Anybody can do this. Don't be stingy with your glue. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay, hope you liked it. Check you guys out in the next project. Booyah!